Hi, minasan konnichiwa. Hello, everyone. ¿Qué dice mi gente? Welcome back to my new episode. And today, I'm going to be talking about the Senryoku Gai Senshu, which means the players who were released by their organizations. But before we start, make sure you subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell. 3, 2, 1, Yorokonde! Gets! Being a manager for 5 years, I saw so many people come and go. Players that were very, very good players, and players who needed to develop, players who didn't develop in that amount of time. But unfortunately, every year we have new draft players coming in, and some of these players need to get released by their organization. So not necessarily have to be that they are bad players. It's just the time, and because of the system, we can only allow 70-something players in the roster. Some of these players have to let go. So I think that for some of these players, it's really good opportunity for them to go and experience with another team. Some players couldn't get the opportunity with my team, but now they're going to get the opportunity to go to another team and experience a new challenge in another team. So it's not all bad that some of these players got released. I think it's in a positive way, they will get the opportunity to go to another team and play in another team. So I think it's very good opportunity for some of these players. And as all these players were released by their organizations, I would like to pick some players from each organization, and I would like to talk about it, and I would like to tell you what I think about these players, their possibilities of being in the Ichigun, or if they still have a chance. So I will be picking some of these players from each organization, so stay tuned.読売Giants has released a couple players. One of the players that caught my attention is Miyaguni, pitcher. And the reason why is because Miyaguni pitcher is only 28 years old, and he has pitched many games, especially against us when I was the manager. So I think that he's still very young. He has still a good potential. I think that he can be very valuable for another team. As we all know, Giants has a lot of good players, so it's kind of hard to stay there and be consistent. If you're consistent, you can be in the team, but if you're not consistent, it's kind of hard because you have to get sent down to Nigun. But I think that Miyaguni pitcher has a good chance to be in the Ichigun level in the Central League. Also, Mota. I think Mota from Dominican Republic is a young player. I mean, he has a ton of power, and I think that if he adjusts to Japanese baseball, this kid can be something special. I think that he has a good potential. So that's something that I think that he may have opportunity to play for another team with less pressure, and he can produce better. So that's what I think about these two players from the Tokyo Giants. Now, the next team is the Hanshin Tigers. I think that the Hanshin Tigers have, a lot of good players. And a couple of the players that they let go, including Fukudome, I think that, especially Fukudome, I think that he's still, he's a little bit over 40 years old, but he still can hit. He can be a Daida. He may not be able to be an everyday player at the Ichigun level yet, but he can still hit. And also, they have Nomi. Let go of Nomi. I think that Nomi's still throwing 146, 147, actually sometimes 148. He has a good forkball, good slider. I think as a left-handed pitcher, I think Nomi can still pitch in good situations. So I picked these two players because they're veteran players, and I think that they can still help any other team in the Central League, especially the Central League. Next team is going to be Yakuruto Swallows. And of course, some of these players that Yakuruto Swallows decide to let go, I picked one person, one pitcher in this list. And the name is Kondo. Kondo pitcher, and then he was at the Ichigun level. He pitched many games. His tempo is really good. I think that he still has very good potential to be able to pitch at this level and produce, help the team. He can pitch 40, maybe 50 games, and still very consistent. His quick is good, very good fastball. I think that he's really good. 37 years old. He can still probably pitch maybe 1 or 2 years, very consistent like that. So I choose him in this list of the players that I think that will have another chance to be at the Ichigun level. So the next team is SoftBank, one of the best teams in all Japanese baseball. And the reason why I picked this player of SoftBank is because he is one of the best players, one of the best hitters, not only in the Central League when he was here, but also in the Pacific League for SoftBank. So Ushikawa Senju. I still think that he can still play. He's only 38 years old. May not be an everyday player now, but he can still hit. He can be a Daida, pinch hitter, or he can be a DH if he stays in the Pacific League. If he comes to the Central League, of course, maybe 2 or 3 times a week he can play, or he can be a pinch hitter. So he is my best pick for SoftBank in this list of players that got released. Now the next team is Oryx, and I picked 2 players out of all these players that Oryx let go, gave released. And the number 1 is Tomei, pitcher. I have seen Tomei many times. I used to be with Oryx before, and I've seen him pitch, and I think that he has a really good potential. He throws a good fastball, 2-seamer, good forkball, slider. His tempo is pretty good. I think that if he would come to the Central League, I think that he can produce maybe a little bit better than the Pacific League, because he doesn't throw 150. He's still, the velocity is still around 145 to 147, 148. At this time, maybe be good for him to experience the Central League. So the other position player that I pick is Kojima, infield. I have seen this player many times, and he's a really good player. He can play many positions. He's a left-handed hitter, and he can be a very valuable utility player for any team, especially in the Central League. So very good player, still very young, 33 years old, and he moves pretty good. So 2 guys that I think that still have a chance to be at the Ichigun level. Now for Rakuten Eagles, I picked 1 player, 1 pitcher, Yoshinori. I think the Yoshinori still can pitch at the higher level, at the Ichigun level. I mean, he throws very good fastball, good slider, and he hasn't been able to put it together. But I think that if he's turned himself into maybe a reliever, a lone reliever, and who knows, maybe a 1 inning guy, I think that he can be very good. I mean, he throws over 150, and I think that he can help any team if he gets the right opportunity. But I think that he can pitch at the Ichigun level. Very good player, very good pitcher with good arm. So I think that he is a good pick for the Central League, especially the Central League hitters, teams. So to all the Senryoku guys, Senshu, I would like to wish you all the best, whatever you do from now on. Of course, I would like to see you in the Ichigun level. But if you're not back in baseball, whatever you decide to do, just do your best. Work very hard to accomplish what you have in mind. So I wish you all the best. All right, see you soon. All right, bye-bye. So thank you so much for watching today. And remember, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell. 3, 2, 1. Yorokonde! Gets!